All right. So have you ever had like a killer idea for a clothing brand? You know, like the designs are just popping in your head, the logo, the whole vibe.
Yeah.
But your bank account's like, not today.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Is it even possible to build a brand from scratch with like zero cash?
It sounds impossible. It does. And that's kind of what makes this duck dive so interesting.
Okay.
We've got this case study, right? It's from a YouTube entrepreneur who claims he did just that. Launched a whole clothing brand in just 7 days, no investment.
Nice.
And he documented the entire process, like the whole thing, to prove it's possible.
Okay. I am skeptical, but I'm intrigued. Where do you even start? Like step one can't be hit up the fancy fabric supplier.
No, right.
No. He starts with niche selection.
Okay.
Which I have to say, he gets this right from the beginning. He doesn't just want to clothes, right?
Right.
He wants to tap into a community, a mindset. So he chooses the entrepreneur niche.
Interesting.
People who identify with that hustle mentality.
That's smart, yeah. Right. Instead of trying to appeal to everyone, you're laser focused on a group who already gets it.
Right. Yeah, like they're already buying into the brand before they even see the clothes.
Yeah. Especially early on when you're just getting noticed.
Exactly, yeah.
But niche selection is just the first hurdle, right?
Okay, so what about the design? Like, surely you need some capital to create professional-looking apparel.
You'd think so, but remember, this guy is working with a zero budget.
Yeah.
So he gets resourceful. Partners with a friend who has design skills.
Oh, smart.
Right. The deal is a 50% stake in the brand in exchange for bringing the designs to life.
I love that.
Yeah. They land on some simple but effective t-shirt designs, like featuring the brand name Hustle, paired with those motivational phrases.
Okay, I love the hustle and grind spirit. Like, he's embodying the brand from day one.
Right.
But let's talk logistics, right?
Okay.
He has the niche, the designs, but no piles of t-shirts ready to be shipped. This is where I get stuck.
Yeah.
That upfront inventory cost.
This is where print on demand comes in. This has been a game changer for so many entrepreneurs.
Totally.
He uses a service called Printful.
Okay.
So someone places an order on the website, right? Printful receives that order, then prints the t-shirt, and ships it directly to the customer.
Whoa, so he doesn't even touch the product.
Nope.
That sounds almost too easy.
I know.
That's brilliant. So that solves the zero investment problem. I'm starting to see how this all comes together.
Yeah.
But he still needs a place to sell these awesome t-shirts, right?
Absolutely. He needs a platform. So he chooses Shopify to build his online store,
Well, smart.
which is known for being so user-friendly,
Yeah.
especially for beginners,
Oh.
like drag and drop, templates. They even have a whole app store full of tools to help you manage everything.
Awesome.
Plus, there's a free trial,
Nice.
so you can test it out without spending anything.
Okay. Shopify, check. Designs, check. Print on demand, check. It's like he's assembling this business out of thin air.
I know.
But I have to ask, I feel like most people would be hesitant to buy from a brand they've never heard of.
Huh?
How do you build that initial trust?
Yeah, that's where his marketing strategy comes in. And it's probably not what you would expect.
Okay.
He doesn't go for the expensive ads or fancy influencer campaigns.
Okay.
He makes a brand new TikTok account
Oh, interesting.
and starts posting these short, snappy videos about, you guessed it, entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Tips, motivational snippets behind the scenes of his journey, all geared towards his target audience.
Interesting. So he's not directly pushing the product in every video.
Right.
Is that even effective? I
Yeah.
feel like all I see is link in bio.
Yeah, he's playing the long game here. By providing valuable content, he's building authority and trust.
Okay, yeah.
At the end of each video, he'll include a little call to action. Want to rock the hustle mindset? Check out the link in my bio.
Yeah, it's more subtle, less salesy.
Right. It's more like an invitation
Yeah,
to join the community.
exactly, yeah.
And, TikTok loves to push new creators.
Oh, that's true.
So that's helpful.
But isn't TikTok like a little limited in who sees your stuff?
Right. So he's not putting all his eggs in one basket. He leverages his existing Telegram channel as well.
Smart.
Promoting the brand to his existing audience.
Okay.
Smart move, right? Like cross-platform promotion.
Yeah.
Remember, he's on this 7-day deadline.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Every bit of exposure counts.
Okay, so he's hustling on TikTok, engaging his Telegram community, running a Shopify store,
Uh-huh.
all powered by this like invisible print-on-demand machine. It's wild.
It is.
But did it actually work? Did he make any sales in that super short time frame?
Okay, get this. In just 3 days, the length of the Shopify free trial, he generates $209.93 in revenue.
Wow.
And he received orders from multiple countries.
That's so cool.
Right. It just shows the power of reaching a global audience.
It's amazing. It's truly inspiring. But I also have to ask, 209.93 sounds great, but what about profit? Like, I imagine the international shipping cost ate into his earnings.
You're right to think about that. It's such a common mistake to confuse revenue with profit.
Yeah?
After factoring in Printful's costs and those international shipping fees, his profit came out to $56.78.
Yep.
Not a fortune, but remember, this was a week-long experiment starting with zero investment.
It's a pretty impressive return on, well, nothing. But here's what I'm really curious about. His initial goal was profit, right?
Nice.
Like, that was the whole challenge. But then he does something kind of unexpected. He refunds all his customers,
Yeah.
but still sends them the T-shirts.
Right. I was surprised by that. It seems counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, like, why give back the money he worked so hard to earn?
It's interesting.
What do you think was going on there? Was it a marketing ploy?
Yeah.
Like a sudden attack of altruism? Or something else entirely?
That's what we'll unpack in part 2 of this deep dive. We'll explore the reasoning behind this move and what it reveals about building a brand. Like a brand that goes beyond quick profits.
Right.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Refunding all those customers, but still sending them the T-shirts.
It does. It's wild.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, he set out to prove that you could turn a profit
Right.
in just a week.
Yeah.
What's the bigger picture?
I think it comes down to long-term vision, right? It's about building a community,
Yeah.
fostering loyalty, creating a positive brand image. It's more than just a quick buck.
It's like he's investing in good vibes.
Yeah.
Which, in the long run, could be way more valuable than that initial $56 profit.
Exactly. Think about those customers, right? They're not just getting a cool T-shirt.
Right.
They're getting an experience, like a story. They're way more likely to tell their friends about this brand that went above and beyond, that surprised them.
Yeah, it's like those customers become brand ambassadors without even trying.
Yes.
Because they feel valued,
Way.
appreciated,
Yeah.
part of something special.
In a world where everyone's just bombarded with choices, that genuine connection makes all the difference.
Yeah, totally.
It's about standing out not just with the product, but with your values.
So it's a brilliant strategy, even if it's unconventional.
Right.
It makes you wonder if sometimes the best moves in business are the ones that don't immediately add up, like on a spreadsheet.
Sometimes playing the long game pays off in ways you can't predict.
Yeah.
This case study has been inspiring, showing what's possible with a bit of hustle, creativity. But I also want to know about your thoughts. Like, do you feel empowered seeing this guy build a brand from scratch? Or intimidated?
Honestly, both. It's empowering to see that it can be done.
Yeah.
But also, like, does it set unrealistic expectations?
Yeah.
Not everyone has a friend with mad design skills who's willing to work just for equity or the charisma to go viral on TikTok in a couple of days.
Right. It's a good point. Every journey is unique, and this guy's success doesn't diminish anyone else's challenges. It's not about comparing. It's about learning from his approach.
Totally.
Adapting it.
Like a recipe,
Yeah.
You follow the basic steps.
Yeah.
But you adjust the ingredients based on what's in your pantry.
Exactly.
So speaking of ingredients, I'm curious about the tools he used. Like Shopify and Printful seem like game changers. But are they the only options out there?
They're definitely popular choices, especially for beginners.
Yeah.
Shopify's so easy to use, and Printful has that no inventory model. But there are alternatives: Wix, Squarespace,
Right.
Printify, CustomCat. It's worth exploring to see what fits your needs and budget the best.
It's like a buffet of entrepreneurial tools.
Yes.
You can pick and choose.
Totally.
But I'm also wondering about, like, the nitty-gritty of actually using these platforms. You mentioned Shopify is easy, but what does that really mean?
Like, you don't need to be a coding wizard to make a beautiful online store.
Right.
Shopify is so intuitive. You can drag and drop things, customize templates, manage everything from product listings to shipping, all in one place.
So even someone with limited tech skills can create a professional-looking store.
Absolutely.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
What about mobile optimization? I know we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's crucial. Most people are shopping on their phones now.
Right.
If your website is hard to use on a smaller screen, you'll lose customers. Mobile optimization makes sure it adapts to any screen.
So it's got to look good on every device.
Yes, exactly.
Let's talk marketing. His TikTok strategy was super effective.
Uh-huh.
But is it sustainable long term?
That's the million-dollar question. Going viral can give you a boost, but building a brand takes consistent effort, a multifaceted approach.
Right.
You can't rely on just one platform or one type of content.
So it's not just about chasing trends and trying to go viral every week.
Right. It's like building a house. You need a strong structure before the fancy decorations. That structure is your brand, your values, what makes you unique.
I see, yeah.
Then you add the creative campaigns and strategies on top.
So this initial launch, that 7-day sprint, was just the tip of the iceberg.
Totally. There's so much more to building a brand.
Okay.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah, speaking of journeys, I think it's time to unpack this whole hustle at all costs mentality. Okay.
Hi.
It's something we touched on before, and I think it's worth exploring further.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially seeing this guy push boundaries and achieve so much in such a short time.
Uh-huh.
Is that level of intensity sustainable, really?
That's a great question. It's important to talk about that because ambition and drive are super important.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line between passion and burnout.
Burnout, yeah. I can see how that could happen, constantly pushing yourself to the limit.
Totally. And it can have serious consequences for your health, mental and physical. Stress, anxiety, insomnia, even a weaker immune system.
It's like running a marathon at full speed without any breaks.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
But it's not just the entrepreneur who suffers, right? This hustle culture can affect families, relationships, everything.
Absolutely. When we say you have to hustle at all costs, we create these unrealistic expectations.
Right.
It's like saying you're not dedicated unless you sacrifice everything.
And it makes people feel like they're not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we're all on this hamster wheel, running and running.
Yes.
But where are we even going?
It's so important to step off that wheel sometimes
Yeah.
and define success for ourselves.
Okay, so how do we find that balance? How do we chase our dreams without burning out? It feels impossible sometimes.
It's a balancing act for sure.
Yeah.
But here's what I've learned. Prioritizing self-care is essential.
Okay.
Think of it like that oxygen mask on a plane.
Oh,
You can't help anyone else if you don't help yourself first.
I love that.
Self-care isn't just bubble baths. It's about boundaries, realistic expectations, and making time for things that recharge you.
So it's about knowing your limits and slowing down when you need to.
Exactly. And surrounding yourself with supportive people.
That community is so important, right? Because entrepreneurship can be lonely.
It can. Having other entrepreneurs around you, mentors, even just a supportive friend can make all the difference.
It's like that entrepreneur we've been talking about.
Yeah?
He had his business partner, his Telegram community, and his new community on TikTok.
Yes. He understands that connection is key.
It's not just about the numbers. It's about relationships and building something bigger.
Totally.
And that extends to his customers, too. Refunding everyone. That shows his commitment to building a brand that's about more than just profit.
It shows he understands the power of genuine connection, going above and beyond to create a positive experience.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
it's amazing to see what's possible when you combine passion, hustle, and smart strategies.
Definitely.
But it's so important to prioritize well-being, build a community, and remember that success is a journey,
Absolutely.
not a destination.
That's a great way to put it.
I think that's where we'll pick things up in part 3.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about the cost, like is this always on hustle harder thing sustainable?
It's a good question. We always see those entrepreneurs pulling all-nighters, giving up their weekends, living and breathing their businesses.
Right.
But there can be a downside to all that hustle.
Burnout, right.
Exactly.
Like you push yourself to the limit, especially in the beginning. It's got to lead to exhaustion at some point.
It can. And burnout isn't just about feeling tired. It affects your mental and physical health. Stress, anxiety, insomnia. You can even get sick more easily.
Yeah, like you're running a marathon with no breaks. Eventually, your body's going to give up.
Exactly.
And it's not just the entrepreneur, right? Like
Yeah.
this whole hustle culture thing affects families, relationships.
It definitely can. When we say it's all about the hustle, we create these crazy expectations.
Yeah.
It's like saying you're not dedicated unless you sacrifice everything.
It makes people feel like they're not good enough.
Exactly.
It's like we're all stuck on a hamster wheel, running and running.
Yes. A perfect analogy. It's so important to step off that wheel sometimes and think about what success really means to us.
So how do we find that balance? How do we go after our dreams without burning out?
It is a balancing act, and it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
But one thing I've learned is that taking care of yourself is so important.
Yeah.
It's not selfish, it's essential. You know, like they say on the plane, put your own oxygen mask on first.
Right, right.
You can't help anyone else if you're not taking care of yourself.
That's so true.
And self-care isn't just about pampering yourself. It's about setting boundaries, having realistic goals, and making time for things you enjoy.
It's about knowing your limits.
Right.
And slowing down when you need to.
Exactly. And it's about having good people around you.
Yeah, community is so important.
Especially with entrepreneurship, it can be lonely.
Totally. It helps to have other entrepreneurs, mentors, even just a friend who gets it.
Absolutely. Sharing experiences, learning from each other, it makes a huge difference.
You know, it's like that entrepreneur in the case study.
Yeah.
He had his business partner, his Telegram group, and even built a new community on TikTok. Connection seems like a big part of his success.
I think so too. It shows that business isn't just about the numbers. It's about relationships and building something together.
It's about human connection. Right.
Exactly.
And that goes for his customers, too. Refunding all those orders, that shows his commitment to something bigger than just making money.
It really does. He gets it. He's creating a positive experience that people will remember and tell others about.
So, thinking back on this whole deep dive,
Yeah.
it's incredible what you can achieve when you're passionate and work hard and have smart strategies.
Absolutely.
But we can't forget about taking care of ourselves, building our support systems, and remembering that success is a journey, not a finish line.
That's a great way to sum it up.
And it's a journey we should all be on, right?
Yep.
With intention, finding that balance, and respecting ourselves and the people around us.
Beautifully said.
Building a business should be about more than just profit. It should be about making a difference.
I completely agree.
So to everyone listening, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this for a while, remember to pace yourself, take care of yourselves, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Great advice.
Keep learning, keep growing, and who knows, maybe you'll inspire our next deep dive.
Thanks for joining us.